Tamily. We are about to start our 7th Ask Tamily interview, and our guest today is going to be Emily, which her IG name is Healthy by Emily A, and she should be joining us in just a moment. As we've said before, we have some planned questions, which I'll have on my laptop, so when it looks like I'm not looking at what's going on, that's where I'm looking. But you can, of course, ask any questions during the live interview as well, and we will post our videos on YouTube, although they will be on Instagram for about 24 hours. But afterwards, we'll get it up on YouTube within the next few days, and we've got all of our other sessions on YouTube as well. So definitely check them out if you've missed any. And we should have, in just a second, this is always the most critical moment of the Ask Tamily interview. Hi!
Hi!
How are you?
I'm good, how are you?
Good. It looks like technology is in our favor, so that's great.
Cross your fingers, knock on wood.
Yes. So Emily, thank you for joining us as our 7th Ask Tamily interview. We're very excited to hear your answers to some questions and get to know you a little bit better. So what we want to do is start with our planned questions. Of course, if anybody asks anything during, we'll try to scroll through and answer anyone else's questions as well. But we'll start with, it just so happens that it's a question we've started every interview with so far, and that is, when and how did you start the Tracy Anderson method?
Well, it was it was about a year after I had my last baby. I had what I call my mirror moment, where I was 70 pounds overweight. I really just hated the way that I looked, and in the throes of postpartum depression, so that's not a good, happy place to be. But I had a moment with a mirror where I realized that I could not live in this body the way it was anymore. And so I started studying everything I could about health and nutrition and changing what I ate. I've always been semi-consistent in exercise, but never really liked it. Like, it was something, I have to go do that, blah, blah, blah. But after my mirror moment, about 3 months later, I think so many people have this same story. They saw the infomercial, right? The Tracy Anderson infomercial. And I found it on YouTube, and I just watched it over and over. I probably watched it like 20 times, which sounds really sad, but I did. And then finally, our budget at that point, I just had a baby, I wasn't really working a lot, we had like this much wiggle room, and it wasn't quite enough for that $30 a month. And I realized I am drinking cases of Diet Coke, and that costs more than $30 a month, right? And so my husband and I made a deal. If I quit that, I could have this instead.
That's awesome.
My new addiction. I started with Metamorphosis and on through Continuity.
So how long have you been doing it now?
Well, see, that's kind of, it's been, okay, so my youngest is 8, so it's been almost 7 years.
Oh, wow.
I'm still only year 3 continuity. So, but even with repeating levels when necessary and not being as consistent as I could, with Metamorphosis, I was consistent. It was a 90-day program. I was done in 90 days. I did it as prescribed, and it just wonderful results. Continuity is where I kind of fell off. But still doing it 4 or 5 times a week and repeating levels, I'm still so happy.
Yes, absolutely. Why did you decide to choose Tracy over other fitness methods?
For some reason, in my mind, when I found Tracy, I was doing a combination. I would do 1 day of strength training. This was all in my house because I had itty-bitty little babies, and I didn't have time for a gym. But I would do 1 day of strength training, 1 day of some kind of stupid cardio DVD that I'd done 5 million times, and then 1 day of yoga. And so her program I was so looking for something new. I was so bored. And where she had the strength training and the cardio, and then I noticed a lot of her moves were very stretchy and yoga-esque. I just decided to go for it. And my idea at first was I was doing, 1 day of each type of exercise. So I was going to switch off days. But when her program said, no, every day you do half hour of this, half hour of this, I said, okay. And then, trust in Tracy. I do everything.
Excellent philosophy. So since you started 7 years ago, what type of results have you seen?
Well, I dropped 70 pounds. I mean, that had a lot to do with, too, I completely changed the way that I ate. But consistent exercise helps. Not just, people think of exercise as the calorie burn part of losing weight. And that's a tiny bit of how exercise helps with losing weight. So, it changes the hormones in your brain and the way that they work, and it changes your mood, and it gives you more energy, so you want to eat better and all of those things. So, yeah.
Who in the Tamily community inspires you?
Now, this list could be, I'm sure everyone says, this list could be so long. I spend my morning hours as I wake up scrolling Instagram, and then right before I fall asleep scrolling, because everyone is my inspiration. And I could name, everyone knows the big names you see all the time, but the people who inspire me the most are the ones who are posting even though they have not yet reached their results. I would not have done that. I am so impressed with them, and they're at the beginning of their journey, and they know that they have pounds to lose or things that they want to change, and yet there they are. They're bearing it all. I'm just, when they're doing that, and I have qualms about, I don't want to post my workout today, I just think of them and, no, I've got to.
Yeah.
If they can do it, I can do it too.
Yeah. That is an excellent point. I think about that because, now I'll post, live workouts and video clips that aren't perfect. I think it's fun to post the ones where, you fall over or you do the move wrong or whatever. But that's been a kind of a new inspiration with this past month with so much focus on new people, because definitely in the first month that I was doing Tracy, no way! There's no way I would post. But that is what is really, really cool about them. I mean, gosh, even the very first day, I'm like, what? I cannot even imagine how long it took me to post a video. It had to be 2 years. It had to be. I mean, that is definitely, and that's what's really cool about this community, because you can't get renewed inspiration like that in other fitness methods. But that's an excellent point. And I think it's so cool too that you're not just motivated by the old school Tamily forever people who do moves perfectly and have ridiculous bodies. They are very, very inspiring. But definitely being inspired by newer people, and people too that everybody talks about the same way that you did. You go through ups and downs. No one is I started it and I've done it for 9,000 days since. It's been perfect. You have these ups and downs, and that's really good to see too, that people, share things when they're in the middle, or they're having a setback and they're like, hey, I haven't worked out for 3 months, but I'm back. That's amazing too.
Yep, I agree.
So, kind of feeding into that, what are some of the challenges that you've personally faced in doing the method?
Really, consistency has been my big thing. It seems so often that there's a choice. You can have enough sleep, or you can exercise. And that's my thing. I am a morning exercise person because I have to be. If it doesn't happen in the morning, I don't get it. But when that alarm goes off at 5, and it's so hard. So consistency has been hard. And one thing that has really helped with that is remembering that when I get up anyway, I will sleep better that next night. I have more energy just from the exercise itself. You know, it's hard to push through, but when I do, I just feel so much better, and my sleep gets better. And also, when that starts slipping more and more, it's really great that my husband is. I've got to brag on him for just a minute. I've got the best husband in the world. Huge support, and I think he also understands that when I don't exercise, I get grumpy, and so you know, there are those mornings when the alarm goes off and he's poking me in the side. Are you gonna go? You should go. So it also helps too to have a nice support group.
Absolutely. That is a great point. What is something that you've personally learned from Tracy in the journey of doing her method?
I love this question. I've been thinking about this one a lot. Two things that I have learned from Tracy. Number one, I have always been not very comfortable with my physicality. I was never good at sports. I tried dance class as a kid and it was just awful, awful. You know, school dances were, I mean, all you're doing is swaying, and I somehow looked terrible doing that. Like, I've just never been comfortable. I'm not a sports girl. I was the dork in the marching band. Like, it's not me to be comfortable moving in my own body. But I love it now. And that's one thing that she has really taught me, is not only to be comfortable with it, but to crave it and enjoy it. The other thing that she has taught me is that I can do hard things. There have been so many of her moves, and I'm sure every single person has thought this, where you watch her do it the first time, and you're like, what? Hold on. She's on her head right now. Like, what just happened? You know? So, and yet, by the end of the week, or the 10 days for continuity or whatever, there you are, you're doing all the crazy acrobatic stuff too. And I think that has been really empowering for me in other situations as well, where life throws crap at you, because it happens to everyone. And I can say, you know what, I can do hard things. Do you know what I was doing this morning? I was on my head, and I was kicking, and I was, you know, so I can handle this. So those have been really fun to learn from her.
Those are two very, very important lessons. Why is your workout important to you?
Oh, so many things. And like I said, it's not about calorie burn for me. I used to be a total calories in, calories out kind of girl, and you have to track all the numbers and everything, and that never served me. I never lost weight doing that. For me, exercise it's my time to focus on me and to listen to my body. I'm so in tune with my body now. Whereas before, there was no like correlation between, oh, I ate that donut, now I feel like crap, or I didn't exercise this morning and now I have no energy. It teaches you so much about your body. It gives you a moment to focus on you and recharge your own batteries. It balances hormones so well. So when you are, like I said, with my husband, he's noticed very clearly that I get grumpy when I don't exercise. And it's in the whole family's benefit if we just take the kids aside and let mom have her time and just let her do her thing. So it helps everybody.
Yeah. And it helps you be better so that you can help others. Like, that's the thing I think a lot of people struggle with. And I mean, I always think it's very inspirational when people with kids do make the time, because I don't have kids and it's still hard. Like, I have 2 dogs and I'm like, I don't know how you 2 are interfering in my workout. But, I mean, it's very inspirational, but at the same time, like you're saying, you get so much out of it. It really makes it worth it. And, you know, you just have to figure out how to prioritize it. Of course, there's going to be days that you can't. But if it becomes part of your routine and your life, it's much more likely that you'll be able to do it and fit it in.
Yeah. Well, and really, that thing you said about, I don't know how people do it with kids. I don't know how people handle kids without that.
Mm.
How do you do that? I don't know.
That is a really good perspective.
I'm a terrible mom when I when I don't get my exercise. When I'm feeling like crap, I'm not going to be able to give them what they need.
Right. Oh, that's such a good point. So I know you kind of mentioned this already, but we have a question that's, do you do MC, IMC, or BC? And now that question is going to say, or continuity. So talk to us a little bit about continuity and what your routine is with it.
Okay, so I'm a little over halfway through year 3 of continuity. I now own all the discs. I have no excuses to just not finish it. I have been watching all of you streaming girls since the beginning and wanting and hoping, and that is my path. Someday I will be there. I am a finisher. So many people have asked me, why have you not switched over? Because I am a finisher, and she has all of these DVDs. And for a while, I thought that maybe I was missing out. These streamers were getting these awesome results, and everyone talks about it. And oh my goodness, watching you guys do all these crazy moves, it was really fun for me to watch. And I kind of wondered, the fear of missing out. Yeah. But this free month was so fantastic because I took advantage of the free month and I did streaming for a month. And the very first week I did IMC, and I loved it. And then the next week I thought, okay, I'm just going to give Masterclass a try just once and just see, am I going to be dead at the end or can I handle this? And I got to the end, I was like, oh, that felt really good. Okay, I can handle this. And then all the comments started popping up about, is Tracy trying to kill us? Oh my gosh, that was such a hard week. And I was like, well, yeah, it was, but I kept up. I did it. Oh my goodness. So that told me that continuity is an awesome workout, and I'm seeing the results. I shouldn't doubt what I'm doing. But I am getting a great workout with continuity, and it also confirmed to me that yes, I'm so excited that once I finish this over here that I'm going someplace really awesome.
That's really cool. That's awesome that you tried the month of streaming and then you could compare it.
Yeah.
Because I think that a lot of times people think the streaming is more difficult, and then if you just go back and do one workout from a continuity disc, you realize actually there's some very crazy things happening there that I'm glad we don't have a band and a ball and a chair going on usually in streaming. And I mean, it's kind of a little bit different, maybe style, obviously, because you have Tracy by herself and having her in the room with people is a different energy and stuff, but they're slightly different, but they're just both so incredibly effective. And in a way, it's like Tracy did all that research and all that work, and I bought all the continuity discs as well, and, wasn't consistent until I started streaming. So it's I feel almost like it's a waste if you don't, do them. So it's really cool to see people that are committed to getting through continuity to the end. So is it, does it go through 5 years, or how long is it?
It's 3 months into year 4.
Okay.
That's all the DVDs I have. If there are more, someone tell me. Because if I find out there are more later and I didn't finish it, that will seriously bother me. So I want to know. But I have year 3 DVDs of year 4. So 3 months.
So is that maybe about a year from now when you would be done with it, or how long?
Should be about 6 months.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Awesome. So as long as it's all the DVDs, then you're going to hop over streaming in 6 months?
Yeah.
That's fantastic. Oh, I'm so excited. You should do a countdown or something.
I should. I will. Okay. I love that.
Definitely. Yeah. So do you still do, is it 10 workouts of the same level and then you move on to the next one?
I do 6. You should do 10. I get really bored after 6, and where the streaming is 6, it's a week. I decided that I was going to put my heart and soul into learning those moves by the 6th day.
Okay.
And then I got to move on. Like, hanging on for 10 days is too hard.
Yeah, I found that very challenging as well, just doing continuity for a little bit after metamorphosis. And I would be like, I don't think I can do the workout unless I change to the next level.
Yep. Well, and I found, too, that when I was being inconsistent, it was on day 7, 8, 9, 10.
Good.
When I was like, it's the same old one.
Yeah.
But on day 7, if I can instead say, I need to see what's new. What's she going to do to me today? So it motivates me more.
So when it comes to rest days, do you do like a weekly rest day, or what's your plan with that?
I take every Sunday off.
Okay.
That's always just kind of been, we have church in the mornings, and we have, I don't know, it's just always been my thing, Sundays off. And then I try not to do any other rest days, but I also try to listen to my body. I usually take one other rest day during the week. But the plan is no.
And our next question, this is an interesting one, is what do your family and friends think about the method?
So we already covered what my husband thinks. My kids think that Tracy is my very close personal friend, and I have not disagreed with them, right?
Right.
Yeah, we're best friends. Yep, that's my friend Tracy. And Stacy and Maria, too. They're like, oh, look, it's Maria today. And I'm like, yeah, I love her,
Horrible.
That's my intermediate family. My extended family, I have 2 sisters. One of them tried the method, thinks it's brilliant, has zero consistency, and will not stick with it. But she agrees that it's great. My other sister is a runner, very religiously. And she tried it for about a month, and she came to me and said, Tracy's crazy. She says all kinds of weird stuff, and it doesn't make sense. And I can't do this anymore. And I was just, okay, whatever floats the boat.
Right.
Most of my family, though, is just they have seen me go from obese and couch potato to this skinny fitness girl who exercises all the time. And even if they think Tracy's crazy, I mean, the results kind of speak for themselves. Who cares? Right?
Right. Yeah. This is also an important question. Where do you live and what do you do?
Okay, so I live in an itty-bitty tiny little town in the middle of Utah. And Tamily, if anyone lives in Utah, I feel very alone.
Like, I'm sure someone does.
I'm sure, I know someone does. I met someone once who lives up in Salt Lake, I think. But there are all these fun little meetups everywhere, and I just sit here going, oh. So, any other Utah Tamily, say hi, talk to me, because I would love to meet you. I would love to hang out. So that's where I live. By day, I am a software tester. I work for a software company, and I get to tell the developers all the stuff they screw up on. So that's fun. And then by night, I am a holistic health coach, and I get to teach people everything that I learned about health and nutrition and how to eat to take care of your body. So, and then all the time, I'm a mom, and that's the best job of all.
Right. So when it comes to your like nutritional advice, and I know you have a blog and stuff like that, so of course people can check that out. But can you tell us just like a little bit of what your overall philosophies are and what your advice is from a nutritional perspective?
Yeah, for sure. When I started, what we focused on was cutting out processed foods. I had tried every diet under the sun. We've counted calories, we've counted points and macros and blah, blah, blah. Counting stuff doesn't work for me. Like, it just makes me depressed. So we're not going to do that anymore. So what I have done is we've cut out processed foods very slowly. It took us a few years. And we're not perfect. We still oh my gosh, we had takeout Friday because I wasn't going to cook and our dishwasher was broken, so I wasn't going to wash dishes. So, you know, but most of what we eat is just very clean, very from scratch, tons and tons and tons of fruits and vegetables. And then I have started trying to eat more and more for balancing blood sugar. Okay. And so making sure that each meal you have some kind of a protein and some kind of a good healthy fat, along with all of those tons of fruits and veggies. And really, when you do those things, it all just evens out. When we cut processed foods, like I had tried to lose weight for more than 10 years, and nothing had helped. But just cooking from scratch at home, 70 pounds just kind of flipped away.
Wow.
And I've never felt better, so yeah,
that's
it really
amazing.
helps so much.
Do you have any particular tips for like cooking for a family?
Get them involved, especially with kids. At first, the kids, kids are naturally picky. They get the things they like and they don't want anything else. Unless it's Cheetos, they always want Cheetos. But when you sit them down and you pull out the recipe books, we have a meal planning day every other Saturday. Okay. And we sit down in the morning and we hand out the recipe books, and the kids will they'll throw out meal ideas. Each of our kids picks one meal that they are going to be responsible for cooking. Okay. And of course, I'm helping, because they're 10 and 8, but yeah. So, and they're usually really simple meals. But when you get them involved, it helps so much. And another game that we like to do is I go to the grocery store with my kids and I say, okay, we need 2 vegetables for dinners this week. You go pick one. You go pick one. Am I losing you? You're like scrolling.
Oh, no. I can still hear you and see you. It should be okay.
I'll keep going then. And you just have them go choose a vegetable. And whatever they come back with, there was one time that my daughter came back with artichokes. I had never cooked artichokes before. I didn't know what to do with them, but I figured I've got Pinterest, like we'll figure this out. And now we love artichokes. My kids will eat artichokes like over candy. So you just never know what'll happen. When you get everyone involved, and also like teaching them what these foods do to their bodies. Here's what candy does to your body versus what vegetables do. And they're still going to want the candy. But when they know more about what they're putting in their body and what it does, it helps so much to get them on board.
Definitely. That's great advice. Another question that was suggested by a Tamily member is there anything that you can do now that you couldn't do before you started the method?
Keep up with my kids. I think that is one of the biggest things for me is, and not just keeping up with my kids, but when I wanted to do something physically, I couldn't do it. My kids would we'd go to the playground and they'd be like, help me down the slide, Mom, run, push me on the swing. And I'd be sitting on the bench going, like just out of breath from trying to keep up with them. Or walking upstairs in public was embarrassing because I would be out of breath at the end. Even just having the desire to go out and do things. When you feel good in your body and you're healthy, you want to go and do things. When you don't feel good in your body, you want to sit on the couch.
Exactly. Well, that's all the questions that we had prepared on our list, and I see like a million waves from people that have been watching us.
I love the wave.
Just looking through to see if anyone typed in a question. If anyone that's watching now has a question you'd like Emily to answer, you can go ahead and type it in. And we'll scroll through and check. Now I'm at the top, so I get back down to the bottom.
And if anyone has questions on, I love talking about food. I love talking about health. I love talking about fitness. Just grab me. I would love to talk to you.
Thank you for offering that for the Tamily. It definitely sounds like you have a lot of good insight, and I know one of the biggest struggles, like especially when you first start the method, is like possibly just relying on the exercise part, and the food thing might come later. And it really does have to take both of those. I mean, they say, you know, you can't out exercise a bad diet, and that sucks,
Yeah.
but it's true. So one person, Emily Hansen, actually asked, "What is your go-to breakfast?"
I am a green smoothie girl. It's almost every single day. I love that I can pack in tons of nutrition right at the beginning of the day. And I also love that in the mornings when I'm scrambling and in a mad rush, because no matter how much I plan, for some reason it's always a mad rush. It can go in a cup and go in the car with me. Like, I love that. I'm actually doing I hope you don't mind me mentioning this here, but I'm doing a green smoothie challenge as part of my health coaching right now. It's totally free. There's a link in my profile that anyone can go up and see my favorite smoothie recipes and have smoothies with me.
Okay, awesome. We also have a question from Spitfire, which is an awesome name, and she doesn't have a picture. I'm not sure if it's she or he, but I imagine she says, "How do I start?"
It depends on if you're talking about the food or the exercise. With the exercise, just the main thing is you need to get it on your calendar and you need it scheduled. You need your time blocked out and treat it like a doctor's appointment. Or this is like things that Tracy has said, but it's so true. You treat it like a doctor's appointment, and that is sacred time. You get it on the calendar, especially my calendar does the little reminder. Oh, she says exercise. Okay, great. Yes. Get it on your calendar. Because if you block that time out, then you're going to be more consistent. I have to do the same thing we get so busy in our family that every once in a while we need a weekend to like decompress. And I actually put that on my calendar, and I will write do nothing weekend. And then when people come to me and say, oh, we have this going that day, can you come? I look at it and I say, oh, sorry, we have plans. When the plans are, we're going to watch Netflix.
Yeah.
You know? But it's the same thing. You get your exercise on the calendar, and then if something else comes up, you look at your calendar and say, oh, I'm booked. I'm sorry, we'll have to find a different time for whatever that other thing was.
Yep. That's perfect advice. And that's one thing, too, about Tracy. You're going to see the results from the consistency.
Yeah.
You know, nothing changes overnight, although I feel like you can see, the more days in a row you do the workout, you can see differences. Yeah. But the strength, the flexibility, the balance, all of that stuff that you think you can't do in the beginning, it comes. Like, you do get better every single day. And then, you know, when you're going through different levels, different weeks, you see, again, that you might be terrible in the first day, but by the 5th or the 6th day, you're almost perfect. Like, it is just an evolution. And it can be really, really hard in the beginning if you feel like you're not good at anything, or you're not strong enough for some moves, or, you know, you can modify it to what you can do. Like, sometimes you can't lift whatever body part off the ground yet that Tracy is flinging into the air. But, you know, you keep trying and keep being consistent and get that hour every single day, and you're going to see the differences over time. And, I mean, the days are going to pass anyway. They might as well pass with having exercise included.
Yeah.
Another person, Spitfire again, asked, which workout would you say to start with?
Okay. I would say that this is one of those situations where you can't really lose, because during the free month of streaming, my sister that believes in the method, but she's rather inconsistent, I talked her into signing up as well, and she was doing beginners. And so I would kind of like preview it. I never did it with her, but I would preview it, and oh my gosh, there's some good stuff in there. So she totally is very on track with the beginners for streaming. That is a great place to start. Metamorphosis is where I started, and I'm super happy with the results, and I tell people all the time, that's another great place to start. Or, I mean, she has a million DVDs on Amazon. Just go grab one of those. She's got beginner ones there that are a great place. Really, the main thing is to start. That's the hardest part. The where is not as important as the actually getting it done. There's so many good options. You can't lose.
Yeah, that's true, because you really can get, just one of the, Method Express or Precision Toning or something DVDs for $9.99.
Yeah.
And learn about the method from doing that. And I mean, you don't want to do that for months, obviously, but do it until you know what's going on and then move on to the next thing. I don't know if you would agree with this, but I kind of felt like, because I didn't do anything athletic before Tracy, really hardly at all. I mean, I tried some workouts, but I never had results, and I wasn't consistent. But I felt like it helped me a lot that I did Metamorphosis first, because even beginner streaming to me is sort of an advanced workout if it's someone who has never worked out before. And I think I felt like I learned more about building strength and building balance and hearing Tracy's voice and stuff, even though she doesn't instruct you exactly about movements, but you make a little bit of a connection with her. And I kind of liked that it was just Tracy and just you in the Metamorphosis part. But definitely, to your point, it really doesn't matter which thing you do as long as you just start. And the most important thing, and I don't know, I think it was Lauren last week in her interview, she said the best workout for you is the one you're going to do. So if, you try Metamorphosis and you're not doing it, maybe you need to go to beginner streaming or something. But it's definitely something to, think about the fact that you have all these different choices with Tracy of where to start.
It's so true. Yeah.
So I think that's all the questions that are in the stream. Emily, is there anything else that you would want to share with the Tamily while you have this audience?
Mainly just gratitude, honestly. Like I said, I've tried so many different exercise programs, and there's nothing like this. There is no community like this that, oh my gosh, they're having a bad day, post and say, hey, Tamily, I'm having a bad day, and suddenly you have 20 replies, chin up, hey, you're doing great, oh, we love you, and oh my goodness. So really, I just want to express gratitude to this incredible community. I am amazed by the women who are here and the strong, powerful examples that they are, and the support that you get. I mean, it's like nothing else. It's amazing.
It really is. It really makes the difference. Because, too, I think most people, and I don't know if, I think you probably feel this way too, but it's like you can do the workout, and sometimes you have that motivation in the 90-day program, especially with Metamorphosis. But what takes this to the next level is having that Tamily community, because that, internal self-motivation, is only there as much as it can be, and there's going to be ups and downs. But this is really the only place with a community like this, and that's really why we want to be doing these interviews. And I'm so excited that ultimately, I hope we can talk to every single person in the Tamily and get to know them on a little bit more personal basis, because it's just like you get just a little bit more of a connection, knowing that you only have 6 months left in continuity. That's something that I'm going to have in my mind and want to be checking out where you're at with it and everything. And it's just another way to connect and, be motivated to make health and wellness and balance, part of your life. And it's so important.
Yeah. No, I couldn't agree more. And I love so much that you are doing these interviews. Thank you for, this is a lot of time that you are putting in, and I appreciate it. I've watched everyone so far. I love them. Fantastic. So
thank you so much. I've really loved doing it. We really, it's just a casual thing. It's a conversation with someone on Instagram Live, and I'm hoping we can make it, into something that is sustainable for a long time, and obviously have the videos on YouTube and stuff. But I still want it to be something that's casual, that's just for the Tamily by the Tamily. Nicole, which is Hey Holmes one, she helps a lot. Like, the technological stuff totally wouldn't happen if it wasn't for her, because I would have no idea how to put something on YouTube. And she also does the Ask Tamily IG page. And we've started doing like a weekly question and stuff, and just, you know, get more like conversation going and help people to connect. But she's thinking about also doing like some interview highlights and putting it on IGTV. Which I can't even figure out what IGTV is, but you know, we kind of want to expand it to make it, you know, a really just cool way to enhance our community. But it's still just a casual conversation with a friend, really, to me, and it's just a way to know, you know, something else personal about people, and it just gives that additional extra connection that can only like make us all stronger.
Oh, I agree. I love it.
So thank you so much for participating today, Emily. We will always remember you're our 7th Ask Tamily interview, and maybe one day we'll be at like 100.
I don't think it'll take you long. I think that will be so awesome.
Yeah. Well, thank you very much, and as you said, anybody that's watching or anybody that watches later, please feel free to reach out to Emily. She's definitely a wealth of knowledge about this method as well as nutrition and everything too, and it's a very, very important reminder that, you know, you really need that aspect of it as well as the exercise.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Emily. We'll see you soon.
Bye.
Bye-bye.